Hello and welcome to the CrazyTalk 8 tutorial on creating your own custom 3D head using photos from the 3D.sk library. You'll find photos that are perfect for 3D artists, game developers, and more as you search over 400,000 royalty-free images that you may use inside your projects. Using images from 3D.sk, you'll find perfect photograph subjects for you to be able to develop your own custom heads. We'll use this sample here to get started and show you how to use the fitting editor to bring your character to life. Inside CrazyTalk 8, we can get started by importing our images. To do so, we'll go up to Create New Actor at the top of the screen. This will allow us to choose between 2D or 3D character. And so for 2D, you could make just like a talking photograph. However, for 3D, we want to make a full 360 head, which is what we'll do. We'll select that. This opens up the Import Image section. And from here, you can see some examples of good examples of photographs, which are normally non-facial expression, and then both a nicely well-lit front view and side view. Some bad examples here also are more candid shots that you might, even grab off your phone. This is why 3D.sk is an excellent partner for CrazyTalk, because their high-resolution images are well lit and always fit the subject just right. Let's go ahead and open up our images here, and we'll just select the forward-facing image and then also our profile. You have a number of different things that you can do to edit the image here if you wanted to adjust color or rotation and so on, or we can just go ahead and go to the next step. With our images now imported, we'll begin to fit them using the guide to the left. In fact, the fitting editor will always show you kind of a best practice on the left-hand side for you to follow. And then right in the right-hand screen, you can go ahead and start clicking. Just click to add the nodes to your screen, just like this, and follow the guide as it moves along. Any of the nodes we can also click and drag at any time to move them around and place them in the appropriate spot if we happen to click somewhere and we want to change that. You can also zoom in to get a best fit as well. So use all your tools to get everything you need to set up your image properly. All right, we'll go ahead and follow through on each one of these to set that up. And once we have the full character set up, you'll just follow the guide in order to do so. We'll have all the dots here just like so. So let me zoom back out so you can see. Here's all the nodes that we have placed on the face. And again, like I said, we can always just click and drag any of these in order to get a great fit on our character. So now on the next step, we'll move forward. And same thing for the profile view. Just follow the guide as it shows you where to place the dots, and then you will be able to fit your entire image and get it set up for being able to shape it into our character. I'll go ahead and place the rest of our nodes there so you can see real quick. And then we'll go to the next step. With the nodes now fit to our face, we can select a 3D face profile. And this allows us to select a different head shape or a different type of ethnicity here to base our character on. So you can do things like heavy face, you can do things like a short chin, wide chin, or a big nose, and so on. And we'll kind of go through some of these just so you can see some different head setups before we get started with creating our full character. I'm just going to go ahead and select the Caucasian here. And of course, we have ones for different genders as well. And you can try these all to make sure that you'll get the best one for creating your head. Then just select Next. Now that we've fit the nodes to the face and then also selected our base head shape, now we'll start really fitting our character inside the facial feature and texture alignment section. And this allows you to go through each one of the facial features as well as the full face and then all of them at the end in order to correctly fit all of the facial features with our different tools here. So we'll go ahead and start by showing you can either select the entire facial feature and move it around, or you can select just the nodes and place them. And so as you'll see, we have two different viewports. On the left-hand side is the fitting editor window, and on the right-hand side we actually have our 3D head viewer. And if you'll look just around the eye here, you'll see that as we move the nodes in the left-hand viewer, then we'll get automatic response directly inside the right-hand view window. So you can see we can see how the fitting of our image is going as we pull our different nodes around here and see how it's working. So really everything here is purely WYSIWYG. Everything that we do here will actually be exactly what we'll see on our 3D character as we continue to move forward. Now we'll go ahead and click on the other eye, and we'll automatically move over there to see that. And again, we'll just go ahead and make some minor adjustments here. CrazyTalk uses the nodes that we originally placed on the character's face to fit the character's features so that we have a good estimation of where they are whenever we start this fitting process. The nose will reveal a new area that we have to use, and that is the morphable areas. These are the white shaded areas that we have here. In fact, if I click on those, you'll see we can actually move the nose tip up and down, or I can change the entire nose shape as well, like this, make it more bulbous or less if I like. So we can start to morph as we do the fitting. For the fitting though, we'll want to go ahead and click and drag, just like so, and go ahead and get the full nose in there like this. And you just want to use your image as a guide to know where you want to place everything, like so. And then we'll move on. The mouth is singly the most important thing inside CrazyTalk because, hey, we're going to talk, right? So we want to make sure that we use our photograph properly and get things fit just right so that when the character talks, then it's the result that we expect to see. And so on the left-hand side here, you'll see that I'm doing my editing and then able to automatically get the update on the right-hand side. And you can see I'm moving the seam of the lip around a bit in order to get it properly placed, like so. And then I'm going to move it down just a little, and I, of course, can zoom in, as we mentioned, in order to get the best fit possible. It's always good to zoom in and see how the work is going, and then also to compare your results in the window over here, as sometimes you will have the ability to move a node around or the facial feature around just a bit off from even the photograph to get the exact result that you want. So always use both windows in order to see how things are moving along there. Now we have the entire frontal face that we can use here to set up the facial boundaries, to do the head shape. Like you can see there, I can morph that head and forehead a bit. And then also we'll set up the boundaries for the ears like this. Just pull that facial feature out like that. And then this is where you'll want to get the initial outline for your chin and cheeks and so on. So we'll just follow along like that. And it's always best to try and see how the character is looking as you're moving along, just so that you can get the exact result that you're hoping for there in the end. And you want to kind of follow the skull here and be mindful of the proper head shape that you're hoping to achieve. Now we're also going to do some work on the side as well to get that head shape just right. So we'll go ahead and use the nodes here to do a few more, and it's all completely non-linear. You're able to use this process at any time to get what you need. Now, to demonstrate that we have a completely non-linear system here, I'm actually going to jump back to my nose and do a little bit more work on it so that I can get it a little bit closer to my subject's look. So we'll zoom in here a bit more, and then we'll take a look at these areas of the nose fitting, because it's very important for you to also make sure that you fit this so that not only do you get the nose in there like so, like we've got there, and we've got it in there a little bit better now, but also to follow the nodes or the guide here in order to get the nostrils placed as well. So this is a step that you'll want to make sure that you do in order to get the nose just right. So if you have any parts of the character that you'd like to revisit and work with a bit more, then CrazyTalk gives you the ability to do just that and jump back in there and start working with your actor. So we'll See how that's looking now if we zoom out a little bit more with our original character, and that's getting a lot closer to the original nose. So feel free to jump around and work with this in order to get the best look for your character through this process. Okay, let's move on. The final step for the front fitting of the character's face will be to look at everything in one view, and so this is in the all section. And so this lets you see all the fitting that we've done so far on the face, and we can make any adjustments here just as we did in the original single feature area too. And so there's a couple of things I'm going to do right away. Like I can see down on the chin or around the jaw that I should probably make this a bit wider. So in order to match my character better, I'm just going to do that here like so, and you can see that just a minor little adjustment there does make quite a nice difference there on our character. And then we can use some of the morphs here too to get the chin and the jaw and so on just right. And then I'm also going to zoom back in on the nose one more time, and I'm going to pull our nostril in just a bit more. There we go. There, now we're starting to get a good representation and a nice start to creating our character. So we'll move on and start working on the actual side fitting of our character now. Now we'll use the side view image for us to fit the actual side view of the character and create our full 360 texture wrap. And so we'll do the same that we did with the forward facing, that is follow the guide on the left in order to place these nodes and facial features where they need to be. So we can click on the node to drag it, or again the full facial feature to move it around. And so I'll do that here. And of course you can use undo if you move something you don't want to, and just Control Z, or you have your undo up here as well as normal. So we'll go ahead and follow the guide like that, and of course you'll get the instant feedback again as always, and then move the facial feature for our brow here like so, and move that out a bit, and then also shape that a little bit more as well. So we'll click on our node there and then see that feedback instantaneous. Now we'll go ahead and take the node here at the bottom. As you can see, as I move it, I'm actually moving the bottom of the face there on the right hand viewport. So what we'll want to do is make sure we get that just right, like in the guide just below, and then we'll be all set to move on to the next step, and that will be our nose. So here we can do a few things. We can use the morph tool to actually change the bridge of the nose, the curvature, and so on. We can use the nodes to actually shape it again as we have before, and then also use this section here to further refine where the nostrils are. So just with the other fitting, you'll want to make sure that you're looking at both sides of the viewport as you continue to move along, and then get your fitting just right. There we go. Okay, now we'll go ahead and move on to the mouth. And the mouth section here, we will follow the guide once again, and just click and drag. And just as with the forward-facing version of our character as we were doing our fitting, we'll want to make sure that we follow the seam of the mouth here as well, so that when the character's mouth opens, it looks just right. There we go. And then we can, of course, use our camera here on the right-hand side to kind of turn it around and see how things are moving along. And your camera tools here on the left-hand side are also available for you to use. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and look at the entire face there. You can see we have an issue with the skull that we want to address right away. And so we can do that just like so. And it's best here to use this guide as a way to get the result that you want, as opposed to fitting it directly to your character's image. So really use this here to use your image as a guide, and also to make sure that you get the optimal head shape that you want for your character in the viewport. So it's kind of a blend of both, of your own judgment as well as your subject's image as well. So then we'll do the back of the skull like this. And then we'll go ahead and fix our chin. Like so. Now, the next section is we'll want to work on the ears, and so you'll just follow the outline of the ears like this. So that the full 360 head wrap will look really nice. There we go. Okay, so that gives me a nice general fit on my character. And we'll maybe do a little bit more there. There we go. And so what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and go to the all section again, and you'll see everything being set up there. And I'm actually going to take my brow again and move it out just a little more. And then on the skull, always remember that the all section is a great chance to access everything and just do a universal edit. And so I use this section quite a bit in order to make sure that I'm generating a character that looks close to what I want in the end with my character's image. The texture blending is our next step inside CrazyTalk 8 to getting our 3D head looking just right. So we have a number of different options for you to be able to use that actually is generating the texture blending based on the two images that we imported. So this is the most basic version of our texture blending, and this is actually blending it with our base texture that we provide as a blending option. Now, we can see that as we reveal more of the original texture with these different settings, we can determine how much we would like to use of that original set of textures. So you can see as I've gone through here, we're actually adding a little more detail each time to our character's face. And we can build that all the way up to a full 360, just like so. So we can get the entire character's skin, roughness, texture, all of that in there. In order to help improve our character's skin roughness and give a nice blend of the character's facial texture all the way around, we also have skin roughness, where you can adjust from either fine or rough skin and then be able to apply pore size to your character, and then also the strength with these slider bars too. And this will help you have a nice, full, seamless blend with all of your textures inside CrazyTalk. The final step in our face fitting process is the detailed morph section, where we will do facial morphs on our entire facial structure, as well as the head. So we'll get started by looking at the full head. And as you'll see, whenever we click on any of the different sections here, we'll have a lot of different slider bars that appear. And so this allows us to have focused editing on each different section. We'll start with the head. So for the head, I'll go over here and you can see that we've got a nice character already underway, and now we'll add some final details. So first thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and add a little bit of heaviness to the face, and then also let the face become a little bit wider, as our subject has a pretty wide head already. Now, you also have a young slider bar here that allows you to add different aging effects too. But I'm pretty good with this as it is, so I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. We'll go ahead and look at the forehead. And the forehead, we can probably switch to sort of a 3/4 view here in order to work with it. You've got things like cranium slope. You can see how that works there. And then, of course, the brow depth, and then also the forehead angle and how that might work. And then you have the forehead width, which we can switch to our frontal camera here and see how that works a little bit more on the forehead, like so. And then you have your temple size that you can adjust as well. Now, the same goes for each one of the different facial features. And what you'll do is you'll just add the different edits that you want to make depending on how your image looks in the references that we have here for both of the different photographs that we began with. So you can use this section to really dial in the different effects that you want and go through each one of these different facial morph areas to get it just right. So we'll do a little bit more here, maybe add a little bit more to the nose like so. And then on the chin, I'm going to go over to my jaw here, and then you can see that we can do things like recede the chin a little bit more like that. And then we could even, if we wanted to add a clef to the chin, which he has just a touch of, if you look there on the image, we will add that there as well. And then you can keep going and just add all the different type of edits that you like in order to get either a good representation of your character, or you can use this section to really stylize your character as well. I'll switch over to the mouth here. You can look at all the different settings that you have for that as well. Things like the philtrum dent, he has a pretty good one. And then also like the lower lip size, I'm going to bring that up just a touch. And then also you have things like the lip curve. You can see how that is affected there, which he doesn't have much of, so we won't add too much of that there. And then also the upper lip depth. So we can change to our side view here and see how that works. So you can use a combination of different views in order to get the edits that you want, and then use this section to really dial in the exact settings that you'd like in order to make this character. So we've got things like the ear angle. So if you want to make kind of, Dopey from the Seven Dwarfs, you can do that, or you can match up your character here just like so. Okay, so you can definitely spend a lot of time in here creating your different face morphs, and your fitting process sometimes will not require you to do a whole lot here, but it's always up to you to use your judgment and use these tools to make the best character that you can for your project. So I'm going to go ahead and take my head here as I have it, and my next option is to go ahead and move on from the fitting process and start being able to use this inside CrazyTalk. And in order to do that, I can do a couple of things. I can just simply go up to the right-hand side and hit apply. That's the easiest way to do it, and that will send it over to the library. I can also export this head, or I can send this head to the Reallusion character creator, where I can put it on top of a full 3D body. And you can find more information about Reallusion's character creator at reallusion.com, where we have an extensive amount of information on how you can create your own full body 3D characters there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. And once we've applied our character to CrazyTalk, he'll come in and actually be, undressed and ready for us to further create a character from, complete with clothing as well. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my different actor styles section here, and we can look at some different clothing options that we may have. And I'm just going to choose a suited option here. And obviously my character now has sprouted some hair. You've got a number of different libraries here inside CrazyTalk in order to be able to add clothing, hair, and so on to your character. But you can also edit this and make it work just as you like for different things like accessories. So the hair is meant to be an accessory, and so you can see it's attached to this upper A section here. And in order to get rid of it, it's real simple. I can just hit the trash can. It's good to also note that this is a great place to edit the different attributes of accessories as well, with the color, contrast, texture, and so on. So you'll find that CrazyTalk has quite a bit of depth once you get involved in working with your character. Let's go ahead and get rid of the hair so that we get back to where we were with our original look. And then you can also do things to set up atmosphere and settings for your character, so that you can immediately see how the character is going to be viewed in different types of lighting scenarios and so on. So CrazyTalk can do quite a bit. You have different settings for backgrounds, and then also lighting situations here inside your atmosphere section. Now, of course, CrazyTalk is all about animation, and once we've got our character created, then we can start doing just exactly that. The easiest way to get started is to open up the Create Script section from the top of the screen, this icon here, and then once you have that window open, it'll give you the option to either record your voice, use text-to-speech, or even import an MP3 or WAV file that you've already generated. And so for this example, we'll just record something really basic and then get our character talking here for the first time. Hello! Today we're showing you how you can animate any character inside CrazyTalk by using photos that are brought in from 3D.sk and then used to generate a fully animated 3D character inside CrazyTalk. Okay, so we can go on and on for a bit if we like and record as much audio as we'd like. What I'd like to do now is just hit OK, because that's the next step and the simplest way to go ahead and animate your character. And we'll go ahead and tell CrazyTalk what we want it to do with that audio, whether we want it to talk, listen, or just do lip sync only. And the difference here is that talk mode means that CrazyTalk will actually listen to your audio and generate some basic animation along with it. Listen mode is like if you want to import music and then just have your character bebop along with the music. This is a great way to do that. And then lip sync only is for folks that just want to get the lips moving and then handle all the other animation on their own. I'll go ahead and select talk mode. Hello! Today we're showing you how you can animate any character inside CrazyTalk by using... Okay, so now we've got our character moving, but obviously he's not moving a whole lot yet. We just got the basic lip sync down from our original audio. So now let's add a little more emotion to that. And so the way that I'm going to do that is I'll switch back over to my animation section. And inside here, I have things called auto motion that I can use. And the auto motion makes it really simple for you to be able to add instant emotion to your character and get it talking based on your audio. All right, so, and not only talking, but also emoting based on your audio. So what I'll do is I'll select the scenario section. And then in this folder, I have different things. We'll select talk. And then you can see a number of different emotive moods that we can choose from to determine how our character is going to be speaking. And my advice here is to try a lot of different things and see what you like in order to apply this. Now, what's happening is that everything we do is going to get applied to a timeline. And we're starting to get into features that we have a lot more tutorials, and we hope that you would come to our learning section at Reallusion.com and learn about how you can do so much more with CrazyTalk once you've developed your character. And diving into that timeline and these type of emotive animations is all part of that. But let's show you a quick preview. So I'm just going to check the advice first. Hello! Today we're showing you how you can animate any character inside CrazyTalk by using photos. So you can see now we've got a different performance, a little subdued yet still. Now let's add a little more animation to that. Let's actually choose something a bit different this time. And so I like this kid talking. Let's try that one. Hello! Today we're showing you how you can animate any character inside CrazyTalk by using photos that are brought in from 3D.sk. Now, you can see that we can just add auto motion to our character and instantly they're going to start reacting. The auto motion section can be affected as well. We can adjust the strength of the auto motion, the different things like spring, smooth, threshold. CrazyTalk has so many features for you to dive into and really get to bringing your character to life. And as you can see, our character here is looking pretty happy now. And I think yours will too whenever you start creating your own characters using either photographs from your phone, photographs from 3D.sk, a great partner that has a library of resources ready for you to get started. Now, I'd invite you to go further with CrazyTalk and see what more you can do with your images. Visit us again at Reallusion.com and hopefully you'll find something that works just great for your future projects and getting your characters animating in a flash. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.